Hi, I'm Keith, your Vedic astrologer and life coach. I'm here with the full moon reading for January the 13th, 2025. We have the sun in Sagittarius and the moon in Gemini. They're both at 29 degrees, uh, continuing the full moons, which are at the ends of their sign in the 29th degree. So the sun is in the nakshatra Uttara Ashada, which is the latter victory, and the moon is in Punarvasu, return of the light. It's a really good nakshatra. Um, the sun is actually in its own nakshatra. The Uttara Ashada, the latter victory, is ruled by the sun, whereas Punarvasu, return of the light, is ruled by Jupiter. This is going to be a very good energy for goodness and light coming back into the world. And it's not just the moon in this nakshatra, because although the Mars is in Cancer, it is retrograded back into Punarvasu. And so, whereas Mars is at 2 degrees Cancer. So it's actually would be conjunct with the moon. It's just across signs. So they will be sharing that energy. And with Mars retrograde, it's not as debilitated in Cancer. Um, yeah. So along with this, we have Mercury in 13 degrees of Sagittarius in the same sign as the Sun, but it's in the nakshatra. Uh, Mercury is in the nakshatra Purva Ashada. So whereas the Sun is in Uttara Ashada, latter victory, Mercury is in Purva Ashada, the early victory, which is ruled by Venus. So we can expect some good communications coming to light at this time. Venus is in Aquarius in the nakshatra Shatibisha, the 100 healers, which is ruled by Rahu, the North Node, and is indicating that there can be a lot of healing happening at this time. With Aquarius being for the people, this could be quite a healing energy that's coming to light, along with the messages from Mercury in the early Invincible. Whatever is occurring now is just the start. It's this beginning of the end because we're at the 29 degrees for these full moons. I think we're about halfway through 6 in a row. And yeah, Venus very supportive here. Venus is actually conjunct Saturn. So Saturn is at 21 degrees Aquarius. Venus is at 16. So it's a 5-degree orb. But Saturn is in another nakshatra. It's in Purva Bhadrapa, the former happy feet. And it is joined by Neptune, which is in the same nakshatra. Neptune is at 3 degrees Pisces. So Neptune and Saturn are not quite conjunct, but they are in the same nakshatra in different signs. We also have the Rahu in the nakshatra of latter blessed feet, which is Uttara Bhadrapada, and Rahu is still in Pisces and will be till May. Mars is in Cancer in Punarvasu, the return of the light. This is one of Jupiter's nakshatras. It is the nakshatra that casts no shadow. It will bring back a lot of positive energy to the earth right now. And with Jupiter in Rohini, the red one is in the moon's nakshatra. It's actually supporting the moon. The moon is in Jupiter's nakshatra. Jupiter is in one of the moon's favorite nakshatra, actually. So with Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada, along with Neptune, we have the boundaries of Saturn and the spirituality of Neptune. And this is the former happy feet. This is like the starting of a grounding. And with the North Node, Rahu, in the latter happy feet, the Uttara Bhadpata. That's the destiny. We are getting a firm foundation at this point in the energy. And we also have Uranus still in Kritika. It's still in the last degrees of Aries in its retrograde notion. And, well, yeah, 29 degrees is still at the end of Aries. And that's the one who cuts. So we are still at this point of cutting. It seems to be quite subtle with Uranus at the moment. It's been in the nakshatra for a while. It works very suddenly, but this is a foundation energy for what is new. And so um, we can see, or we'll start to see, the foundation energy that is really cutting off 2024 and before. This is the new world, the awakened human coming into the light now, the return of the light. We also have Pluto in Uttara Ashada, which is the latter victory. So that's the same nakshatra that the sun is in. This is about solid foundations. We've got victory, the return of the light, and we've got the 100 healers and the one who cuts. So we are getting rid of the old and putting in proper foundations for the new. We've got Rahu in Uttara Bhadpata for the latter happy feet, and then we have Jupiter in Rohini, which is the red one, and Ketu is in Uttara Falguni, which is the latter reddish one. Okay. So the latter reddish one, Uttara Falguni, is focused on service, duty, stability, and relationships, and it brings generosity and support and dependability. And Jupiter in Rohini, the red one, this is about growth and beauty, sensuality, abundance, creative. It's a very fertile and productive nakshatra. With Purva Bhadpata, the former blessed feet, its intensity, spiritual transformation, detachment, idealism, and passion. Uttara Bhadpata is represented by the snake in water, and it's about death, compassion, patience. Focus is on spirituality and growth and stability, and it's the spirituality, the spiritual ascension after death. So with the one who cuts ending last year, this is going to be a new focus on the spirituality for Earth. With the Sun and Pluto in Uttara Ashada, it's the latter invincible, represented by the elephant's tusk. It's about achievement, stability, enduring efforts, integrity, leadership, and long-term success. So this is still putting those foundations in, but the latter victory, the sun, is giving the long-term success. Mercury in Purva Ashada, the early victory, and this is the invincible one. The invincible star, it's symbolized by a fan. It represents aspirations, its confidence and initiation, and it has a victorious and optimistic nature. So we're really getting the foundations and the long-term success being started with this full moon. And then, of course, with Venus in Shatibhasha, which is about healing and mysticism, solitude. It's very introspective focus. It's hidden knowledge here. And it makes the imaginary perceivable, the Maya with that. So then we also have the moon in Punarvasu as well as Mars in Punarvasu. And this one is the return of the light. It's the homecoming, the restoration, the renewal. It's a very nurturing energy. Mars has just come through Pushya Nakshatra, which is all about nourishment, is going into the nurturing energy of the return of the light. And it gives the focus and direction of power. It's represented by the quiver of arrows. The bows represent the direction and purpose and the potential to achieve goals and aspirations from the arrows. And then finally, with Uranus in Kritika, the cutter, the one who cuts, it's the sharpness, transformation, determination, and purification and sharpness. Uranus is really going to be having the final cut with the old world as we return to a more spiritual way of life. For a full moon, it's obviously a sun and moon opposition. We have got the Mercury with the sun here. So things come to light in the full moon. We have the soul's ego and vitality being reflected back by the mind. So is why things come to light, is the full understanding there. So Mercury will be reflecting or coming with the sun to give communication skills to this new moon, to this full moon. Looking at the aspects, we have got Mars, which is in the second house from the moon, with an seventh aspect on Pluto, which is in the 8th house from the moon, and Mars has also got its 8th aspect on both Saturn and Neptune, which are in the 9th house from the moon. So Mars's 7th aspect is where Mars wants to control and conquer, and it's hyperactive in the life. So in the 2nd and 8th house, this is to do with finances, but also with secrets and death and resurrection. Oh no, that's the 7th house of partnerships. But it is the 8th house from the moon, so it will still be to do with secrets. Mars's 8th aspect is about transformation, death, rebirth, and digging up. Mars is extremely unorthodox and creative here, and its aspect is with Saturn, which is about boundaries and structures, but it's in Aquarius, so it is very much for the people and groups, social networks, and the coming together in groups like this. Venus will also be representing our relationships, creativity, and artistic expression, whereas Mars will be looking at our determination and strength and the ability to face challenges. It's Mars in the 2nd house is going to give a lot of courage and action. So you might get some protests with this. People are going to be wanting what is right. With the Mars in Punarvasu, the return of the light, people might be starting to feel a bit more righteous and about standing up for what they really believe in. With Jupiter, we have the 5th aspect on Ketu and its 9th aspect on Pluto. So Jupiter is in the 12th house from the moon, and it will represent the wisdom and growth and higher knowledge, and the 12th house is about the mind and the subconscious. So this will also be supporting the people really having that return to the light and the spiritual parts. With the 5th aspect, which is about skills and the abilities that we have, or the ones that we master easily and quickly, and this is about how they get fulfilled. And so that's on Pluto, which is all about transformation. So these could be quite sudden, like transformations where people feel more connected to their spiritual sides. Jupiter's 5th aspect indicating the skills abilities that we master quickly, on Ketu, which is about the detachment and past life tendencies and spirituality. So it does govern mysticism and liberation. It's very non-material aspirations. Jupiter's 9th aspect is about the higher knowledge and wisdom that we add to the people and society around us, and more about your soul mission on a much bigger scale. And this is with Pluto, aspecting Pluto, so which is about transformation and digging up from the underworld. So that's very supportive for all the spiritual changes which are being indicated by this full moon. Um, Saturn is in the ninth house from the moon and is casting its third aspect on Uranus, which is in the 11th house. So Saturn is representing our karma and our responsibilities, discipline. It governs the structures, whereas Uranus is about sudden and unexpected events and changes, extreme breakthroughs, and about being an outsider. Plus, it's in the nakshatra of Kritika, which is the one who cuts and has sudden changes and very much goes with that electric energy of Uranus. There's going to be a lot of freedom and originality that comes with these changes. Quite a revolutionary vision. And that urge for change and freedom from the known. That's probably what we're going to be cutting away. Just cutting away the known and going with the unknown. It's the planet of breakthrough. And then Neptune is having its seventh. Oh, Rahu has its seventh aspect on Neptune, which is about universal love. It's the imagination, it's inspiration, and the psychic receptivity, it's the dreams. Can be the confusion and illusion as well. So you will get some people very confused at this time. But Ketu is about detachment, and it reduces the material attachment. So might see a lot of people not knowing why their old influences aren't working, like their celebrity sponsorship not having an uptake in sales, that type of thing. It's going to be changes that will be quite noticeable, and I think they will develop as the year goes ahead, but there will be quite a notice foundation at this time with the light of the full moon. Okay, so if you would like a birth chart analysis or a yearly forecast from me, then you can contact me on the WhatsApp, which is linked below. Have a wonderful January, and I'll see you soon.